Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified, coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, American is pertaining to the United States. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so this video will be a rebuttal, okay? But not only am I doing this video to rebut the cat that was making these false claims, but I'm doing this video for the people that's studying and looking for rightful understanding and rightfully dividing this subject. They have better understanding of what's going on and not be deceived by what they are being told, instead of really getting understanding from the truth, okay? Or hearing it from a different point of view. Okay, so I'm here to give you guys the rightful understanding of what's going on and not trying to sugarcoat anything and make you all believe something when it's not true. Okay, so the person in that video, the first thing they teach now, after they found out the color law form was no good, because remember, the color law form, that was the hot topic at the time, until I rebutted that. And now, out of nowhere, the color law form is no longer mentioned. Only thing is mentioned now is what? Becoming a state national and receiving your state national passport, which is no different than a state citizen. So that person believes that once you get a state national and or citizen passport, which is also issued by the United States, then you are now known as an American. And because you are now known as American, you are no longer underneath the United States jurisdiction, which is far from the truth, guys. That's why I'm here to rebut, so you all can have better understanding of what's going on. So not only will this understanding help you guys, it should help the person who's telling you all to do these things. Okay? That's the main reason why the color law form is no longer mentioned about or spoken of. Okay? Because I rebutted it. And it's just that simple. So now let's continue to rebut more stuff so you all can get rightful understanding of what's going on. So now, let's read it right here. This the same code they quoted in that video. That person quoted in that video, so let's read it. It states, 8 United States Code, subsection 1502, Certificate of Nationality. Now, anybody understanding and reading this knows what a certificate is. A certificate announces ownership. That's it. That's all. So if you have a birth certificate, you have a copy of that birth certificate. You don't have the actual real birth certificate. No. Vital statistics have that actual copy of the birth certificate. Why? Because they are the owners. They created it. Okay? They are the owners of that property known as the birth certificate. Now, if you want to attach yourself to that property and claim to be that property, then they own you as well. But let's continue. 8 USC subsection 1502. So these are United States codes. Let's find out who United States codes pertain to. Let's proceed forward. Certificate of Nationality, issued by the Secretary of State. Issued by who? The Secretary of State. Who is the Secretary of State? The Secretary of State is the highest ranking secretary office in what? The corporate United States. So basically, you're going to the United States to try to be told who your nationality are. Now, if you are a man, you don't have to go to anyone for them to tell you who you are. You should know who you are. Okay? You don't need permission to be who you are. You don't have to go to no one to put nobody on notice to tell you who you are. You know who you are. Just simply be it. Okay? But let's continue. It states, Certificate of Nationality, issued by Secretary of State for persons. For who? For persons. What is a person, guys? Don't worry, we're going to go over it. But it says for persons, not a naturalized citizen of United States, for use in proceedings of a foreign state. Okay? So let's continue. Let's read it. It states the Secretary of State is authorized to issue. Who is authorized to issue? The Secretary of State, which is the highest secretary in what? The corporate jurisdiction of the corporate United States. But let's continue. In his discretion and in accordance with rules and regulations prescribed by him, a certificate of nationality for any persons. What is a person? Let's click on it. A person is what? The term persons means an individual or organization. So all United States codes pertains to persons. So if you're going to quote a United States code, then you're claiming to be a person. If you're claiming to be a person, then you're claiming to be a what? An individual or an organization, which are no different than what? corporate fictions. It's just that simple. Plain and simple, simple and plain. Let's continue on. So now it says, not a naturalized citizen of the United States who presents satisfactory evidence that he is an American national. So the key word is an American national. We know what a national is, but let's click on it. Let's click on it and see what a national is. Again, like I told y'all in my prior videos, the term national means a person owing what? Permanent allegiance to a state. Okay? So now, if a national is one who pledges permanent allegiance to a state, then what are the states they're talking about? One of the 50 states. Okay? Known as what? The United States of America. Okay? Known as an American national. We're going to go over the term for American so you all can see what an American is. But let's finish reading. And that such certificate is needed for use in judicial or administrative proceedings in a foreign state. What are foreign states? The term foreign states includes outlining possessions of a foreign state, but self-governed dominions or territories under mandate or trusteeship shall be regarded as separate foreign states. Okay? So now, how does this apply to the United States? If you are claiming to be a state citizen or a state national, which are both still considered to be United States citizens. But that person was teaching you guys that he is a American. Okay? So we're going to see the difference. We're going to see if an American different than the United States. We're going to find out. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes shortly. Let's finish reading. Such certificate shall be solely for use in case for which it was issued and shall be transmitted by the Secretary of State through appropriate official channels to the judicial or administrative officers of the foreign state in which it is to be used. Okay? So, with that being said, now we're about to find out what exactly is an American, to see if an American is any different, or to see if the term American removes you from the United States. Let's go there. Okay, as you all can see in the middle of the screen, it states what? American, right? So, we're coming out of the 6th edition of the Black Law Dictionary. Now, let's all read together what this definition says for American. It says, of or pertaining to what? The United States. Okay? So, if you're claiming to be an American national, you're just claiming one who what? Pledges his allegiance to one of the 50 states. It's no difference. It's bringing you right back to what? The United States. But let's continue now, since we know that America is what? Of or pertaining to the United States. Let's go to national. Okay? Out of the Black Law Dictionary. Let's go there. National. It states pertaining or relating to a nation as a whole. Commonly applied in American law to what? Institutions. So it's what? Commonly applied in American law, to what? Institutions, laws, or affairs of the United States or its government. Okay? It gets no simpler than that. So the people that's telling you all that becoming a state national and or citizen remove you from the jurisdiction of the United States is far from the truth. Why? Because they believe that it turns you over to this thing called an American. But we know an American is also what? Pertaining to what? The United States. The same place that they're trying to separate themselves from. They're going around in the same circle over and over and over again. The only difference is, see, when you was younger, your parents got the birth certificate and they signed you over to be a United States citizen. But when you're older, now that you're over the age of majority and you going down and apply for yourself, then you have no excuses. It's just that simple, man. But let's continue. It says, as opposed to those of the several states National contemplates an activity with a nationwide scope. Let's continue reading down. A person owing permanent allegiance to a state. The same thing we just read coming from the website. Okay? But not only that, let's read a citizen to see if a citizen any different than a national. Let's go to citizen. Here we go. Citizen, guys. Right here at the top of the screen. Citizen. One who, under the Constitution and laws of the United States, or of a what? Particular state. Of a particular state. Of a particular state. Is a member of the political community owing allegiance. Doing what? Owing allegiance. The same as a national. One who owes allegiance to what? A state. Right? And being entitled to the enjoyment of full civil rights. Of full civil rights. Do it say of full human rights? No. Of full civil rights. Okay? Let's continue. All persons. All what? All persons born or nationalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are what? Citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Okay? It's just that simple, man. You're not escaping it. You're not escaping it. It's just that simple. Okay? So for those who believe that they're going to apply to the United States for a passport, that passport is going to free you, you in for a rude awakening. It's just that simple. Now, I told y'all that becoming a state citizen brings you back to the United States jurisdiction. Now, if you want to get completely free from the United States jurisdiction, let me show you guys, okay? I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm not telling y'all to do it. I'm not telling y'all not to do this. I'm just showing you the difference between a state national, basically showing you that a state national or state citizen is putting you back underneath the jurisdiction of the United States. I'm going to show you guys the opposite of that. Let's go there. Okay, as you all can see, we're coming from ask.un.org, okay? At the bottom of that, it states what? Welcome to the United Nations. All right? So like I've been telling you guys, by pledging allegiance to a state brings you back underneath the United States jurisdiction, then you must do the opposite to what? To free yourself from the United States jurisdiction. Now let's prove that. Now I'm not telling you guys before I move forward to do this or not to do it, okay? I'm just saying study. And I'm showing y'all the difference from putting yourself under and getting yourself free, okay? Two paths you can take. One gonna bound you, the other one will free you, okay? So becoming a state national again bounds you underneath the United States. Now let's find out how to get yourself free. It states, what is the UN's definition of a stateless person? The UN stands for what? The United Nations. So this is the United Nations definition of a stateless person. Let's read it. At the top, it states Article 1 of the 1954 Convention relating to status of stateless persons gives the definition. For the purpose of this convention, the term stateless person means a person who is not considered as a what? National. Okay? By any state under the operations of its laws. So now, if you are considered a national, that means that you are operating underneath that state laws. If you're a stateless person, then that means you're not a national and you're not operating underneath that state law. So that state has what? No jurisdiction over you. If the state has no jurisdiction over you, it calls you a what? A refugee. Let's continue reading. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has information about stateless persons, including links to the two UN conventions on statelessness, which are, and those are the two links you guys can study to get better understanding of what's going on. But I dropped a lot of information today. That's all I'm going to do for the night. I know you guys ready to go out and have a good time. But always remember, man, you got to study to show thyself approved. I know sometimes you got to, try to get away from the stress and pain that comes with fighting the situation, and that's all good. But remember, man, study, study, study. All right? So you all be blessed. Enjoy y'all night. Enjoy y'all weekend. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at y'allismagnified@gmail.com. With that being said, I say shalom.